Hey folks, Christy from Shark Pixel here, and I just want to give you a little bit of a visual tutorial to go along with my article about portrait retouching in Lightroom 5. So this is the final image that we're going to get to, and I'll show you the original. So this is the original image that we're going to work with, and we'll go ahead and get started. In an effort to save time, I'm going to be using some of my preset brushes that I've previously saved, but I'll be sure to pause each time I do and show you what my settings are for those brushes so that you can duplicate them. I've got this little keyboard previewer up so that you can see when I'm touching one of the keys on my keyboard. So let's get started. My first step is going to be cleaning up some of the blemishes. For that, I'm going to use the spot removal tool. I'll just be clicking and dragging over some of the blemishes here on his skin. And what I found is that Lightroom actually responds much quicker the fewer spot removal points that there are. So that means try to get rid of as many spots as you can in one action. Now that I've got my non-linear spot removal tool activated, I can simply grab the sample point and move it around to where I feel the texture best matches. I think that looks good. Go ahead and just do this a few more times on your image. If you'd rather not click and drag to place your sample points in the correct place every time, you can simply press the / key, and that's going to give you different sample areas that Lightroom is choosing for you. I'll go ahead and just get rid of a few more spots and then we'll move on. Let me just scroll down here, see if there's anything that needs to be removed. Periodically, I'll take my mouse and move it off of the image so that the marks from the spot removal tool disappear so that I can see the job that it's doing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, and I'll use the H key to hide my access points, and then I'll use the backward slash to preview the before and after. Now that our groundwork is done, let's go ahead and start using some of the brushes. Switch over from the spot removal tool to the adjustment brush tool. And then let's go ahead and start with skin high dark. I've divided my skin smoothing into light skin and dark skin because each one reacts a little bit differently. And I find that it's much easier for me to get the effect that I want if I cater to those two subcategories of skin color. Here are my settings for the skin smoothing high dark. I'll use a flow of about 65 so that I'm not getting the full effect all the time. If you'd like to see the mask that you're painting, go ahead and just hit the O key and it will illuminate your mask. I'm going to turn it off for now so that you can see the difference in the skin texture. I'm going to try and avoid areas where the skin has natural creases, like around his nose and underneath his eyes. This allows me to keep my skin smoothing looking a little bit more natural. Okay guys, so that's finished. Now let's move on to the eye area. We'll come back to the adjustment brush and we'll click the new button if it isn't already illuminated. And then let's go ahead and choose under eye medium. I just want to get rid of a few of these shadows down here. Here are my settings for the under eye medium brush that I have. And let's take our flow down to around 50. All right, that's plenty. Now let's clean up the whites of the eyes. I've hit the new button one more time, and now I'm going to change to another brush that I have called Eye Whites Max. Again, I'm keeping my flow a little bit low because I don't want the effect to be too extreme. Here are my settings for the Eye Whites Max brush. I'll use my left bracket key to decrease the size of my brush, and then I'm just going to paint in here. And you can see how this brush, because of the decreased clarity, is actually helping to get rid of some of those lines. And it's also decreasing the saturation, so it's getting rid of any red in the eyes. All right, that looks great. So let's make his irises pop just a little bit more. So we'll scroll down, and I'll be using my Shark Pixel Iris Brown brush. And here are the settings for that brush. And now I'm just going to paint in on just his irises. Again, to preview your mask, just hit the O key. Let's zoom out to see what we've achieved. And here is the before and after of the work that we've just done. In just a couple of minutes, I think that's a really big improvement. Everything's really nice and subtle, but I think he'll be really pleased with the end result. Thanks for watching, guys.